everyone is welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Happy weekend, everybody. This is Lifeline with Liz, where everyone is welcome. Doesn't matter what religion, we're here to inspire each other. So we're not here to judge, we're not here to criticize, but we're here to, inspire each other into a better, a good, fulfilled life. Again, welcome to Lifeline with Liz. Happy weekend. Happy weekend, everybody. Hope everyone is enjoying their weekend. And again, if please don't forget to visit our website www.lifelinewithliz.com, www.lifelinewithliz.com. If you have, if there's something that you want us to, you have a topic you want us to, to put out there, you want a topic you want us to talk about, please visit our website. Let's, know what we're all about. Send us a DM message, visit us on TikTok, visit us on Facebook, visit us on YouTube. And don't forget to share this program. Don't forget to be to subscribe on YouTube to this Lifeline with Liz. Again, happy weekend, everybody, and you're welcome to a new day, a new bright day. As you are enjoying your weekend, I pray that the joy, the everlasting joy, will not leave your dwelling, will not leave your family, will not leave your home. Today, we are going to talk about turning failure into growth. Turning failure into growth. Turning failure into growth requires a fundamental shift in perspective. There's no one that's, even rich people, nobody that is in a good condition. There's no one on this earth that at one point has not failed in one thing or the other, that has not have that has not, let you see, like, that has not stumbled. So when you stumble, when failures happen, what do? Some people, you have people that just give up because they believe that's the end of it. They believe that there's no solution. So how do you turn failure into growth? How do you learn? How do you come out of that shell? How do you not get depressed? How do you turn that failure into growth? Turning failure into growth. You see, it requires, a fundamental shift in perspective. You remember, like a shift in thinking. A shift, like sometimes, okay, if this thing happened, why did it happen? So it's like you have to shift, you have to think, you have to change your thinking. You see, a shift in fundamental what perspective, to transform setback into progress. You must refrain fail, you must see failure, you must see it as a feedback. Because sometimes when we make mistake, failure happen because we make mistake. Failures happen because we stumble. So reframe failure as a feedback. Okay, don't look at it like, okay, this is the end of it, this is the end of the road. Look at it as a feedback. Okay, this is where I make mistake, this is why it happened. Then how do I analyze what went wrong? And you see, first of all, you have to objectively, not to say, this is wrong, this is not right. Okay, you have to sit down, analyze what went wrong. Okay, what step in this journey did I make that make this stuff to be, that make this thing to be wrong? What step, did I make? Why did I stumble? Analyze, what went wrong, objectively, not like, a lot of us, when things happen, we just like, oh my God, we start to, even ourselves, downgrade ourselves more than the situation that we're going through. We use our own words to put ourselves into pits, even more than the people out there. We criticize ourselves more than is necessary. So analyze what went wrong objectively, taking immediate correction action. You see, okay, if something happened, instead of dwelling in it, what is the next step? How do you fix it? What do I need to fix it? That's first what you need to do. You have to first analyze. So what went wrong objectively? What did I do wrong? What step did I make? What investment? Okay, why this investment didn't go right? Why this business didn't work out? Why am I failing in this thing? Why am I stumbling? So you need to first analyze it objectively, not to say, this is the end of the road. Nothing is the end of the road. Let me tell you something. When you hit a dead end, it's either you turn back they're on the wall. So, you have to analyze what went wrong objectively. And then, because you see, and take immediate action, corrective action. Okay, this is what went wrong. Okay, this is why this investment didn't work out for me. Okay, this is why this business plan didn't work out for me. You go back to the drawing table. Then you correct your mistake. You correct your mistake. That's how you turn failure into growth. Because you see when something fails, it's not because there's no remedy to it. The same thing that you are trying and you keep on failing, some people are doing the same thing and they're succeeding. So now you go back to drawing table, like what did I do wrong? How can I adjust things? What do I need to adjust it? Your value does not drop just because your plan failed. You see, that's the problem with a lot of us. You see, because this plan didn't work out, you see, then we look at ourselves as a failure. We look at just because, you see, like that's what I'm saying. You would downgrade ourselves. We put ourselves down because our plan didn't go the way we think it's supposed to. So just because your plan didn't go through, just because your plan failed, it does not mean that your value is diminished. It does not mean you are not a valuable person. It does not mean you're not a smart person. It does not mean you're not a good person. It just means that there's something that didn't go right. There's a step that you miss. Because I want you to know that nobody is perfect. Nobody is the best. You see, we are all learning. That's where growth comes from. That's where you learn. So your value does not drop. It doesn't make you a lesser person just because that business plan didn't work. It doesn't make you a lesser person just because that proposal didn't, don't go to, or because you didn't get that job, or just because your marriage didn't work. Doesn't mean your value is diminished or you're a lesser person. View mistake as a helpful information rather than a permanent proof of weakness. Just because your marriage didn't work doesn't mean you're a failure. I want you to understand that. Just because that business didn't work out for you, it doesn't mean you are a failure. Thank you. I'm good. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. I'm okay. Thank you. And thank you, please, as you're joining, don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe. And thank you so much for everyone that's joined that say hi. I'm saying hi as well. Today, we're talking about turning failure into growth. Turning a failure into growth. So, feel mistake as a helpful information rather than a permanent proof of weakness. There's nobody that making in life that at one point did not fall. There's nobody that making in life that at one point did not stumble. So just because your plan didn't work, just because this thing didn't work out for you, does not mean that you're a weak person. It doesn't mean that you're not strong enough. It doesn't mean that you're not a good person. It's just mean that there's something that is missing. There's something that is not that you have missed along the line of this journey. And just because one marriage doesn't work out doesn't mean the next one is not going to work out. Just because you fail at one relationship doesn't mean you're a failure in every relationship you have, either with your partner or either with a friend. So, just feel your mistake as a helpful. Okay, what did I do wrong? Okay, where did I go wrong? What can I adjust? What did I need to fix? So feel your mistake as a helpful information. As a helpful information rather than a permanent proof of weakness. So that's another thing that you need to do in order to turn your failure into growth. Real progress require pushing past your comfort zone. Which naturally bring trials and error. There's no one in this life that will go through journey of their life, but they will not face some kind of trial, some kind of error. Real progress, in order for you to make progress, to make a real progress, you require pushing yourself, going beyond your boundary, leaving your comfort zone. Because a lot of us, because we're so comfortable in this situation, some people could be a millionaire, they could be a billionaire, but because they refuse to leave their comfort zone, because they refuse to go further, to try. You see, life is trial and error. And then just because you are going through what you're going through does not mean that you're not going to go through trial and error. Does not mean you're not going to make another mistake. Just because okay, this thing didn't work out, it doesn't mean the next one is not going to work out. But before the next one you go out, you must first go, find out, okay, what did I do wrong? How can I adjust so I won't make the same mistake? And along you not making mistake, let me tell you something. There's going to be trial and errors along the journey, because that is part of life. That's why we as a human being, we have to evolve. We have to learn, because that's part of us growing. Let me tell you, the age, the way you look now, it's not the way you look 10 years ago. The way, the things you're able to do that you were not able to do 20 years ago, you're probably able to do it now because you have more strength, because you have more knowledge, because you have evolved. So, real progress requires pushing yourself past your comfort zone, which naturally will bring trial and error along the way. That's it. That's how you turn your failure into growth. That's how you don't look at yourself like, you don't put yourself down. I always tell us on this program, Lifeline with Liz, I always tell us that, one thing, you have to be your own first cheerleader. If you don't share yourself up, let me tell you something, nobody out there, even your spouse is not going to share you up. Your children are not going to share you up. Your friend, your best friend are not going to share you up. But once you share yourself up, once you trust in yourself, once you believe in yourself, and you know that trial and errors is part of life journey. It's part of what makes us who we are. It's part of what builds us. Then you know that you are on the right path. You know that you are going to be okay. You know that things are going to work out. Look at the situation honestly. I know a lot of us, we fool ourselves because we don't want to accept that we make mistakes. We don't want to accept that, okay, we fail. Or we don't have to accept that this is not going to work out. Sometimes you see some people, they're in a marriage for 20, 30 years because it's like, they don't believe they can do better. They don't believe that there's something out there for them. You see, look at the situation honestly. You need to first, that's why I say you check yourself first, because whenever something happens, you have to first check yourself, because anything that's happened, this is your life, this is your journey. So you have to check yourself without blaming others and making excuse. I know it's not easy to do. We always want someone to blame for our mistake. Some children, they'll pray their parents. Okay, now if you say it's because your parents was not a good parent, that's where you are. Okay, I accept it. It's okay. It can happen, but you have to realize your parents are human beings too, that are going to make mistakes, But just because your parents have failed does not mean you cannot turn their failure into your growth. So stop making, when you keep on making excuse, you're not ready to let it go. You're not ready to grow. Don't look at the situation honestly without blaming others. Don't blame anybody. Okay, if you say your parents were not a good parents, but guess what? As soon as you turn 18, your parents are not the one raising you anymore. You are legally an adult. So why will your parents still be taking blame for things that they probably didn't know any better, or they thought they were doing something that would benefit you? It's okay. But you see, you, now that you're an adult, you that you're grown, you that you're mature, you see, don't blame your parent, don't blame your spouse. Okay, this marriage didn't work out. It takes two to tango. If both of you invest equally at the same level, the marriage will probably have worked out. So don't blame your spouse. It just didn't work out. Okay, both of you have your blame. Now you look at the problem. What make the marriage to fail? What make the relationship to fail? And you work at it at the next one, so it doesn't happen again. That's what can turn your failure into growth. That you're into growth. So don't blame anybody. Okay, if someone did something that make your business to fail, fine. They have made their thing. Then you move on, because if you hold on to that blame, that excuse that you're giving, trust me, you will never leave that situation. You will never leave the position you are. You will never be a better person, and you will never grow, because you will be too busy blaming, throwing stones, throwing blames all over. Look at situation with a different eye. Sometimes when something happens, step back. Because sometimes we are always in a rush, especially when you live abroad. We rush to do everything. So a lot of things we fail because we are always, let me tell you something. Nobody is in a race with you. This is your own race. Running at your own pace. not someone else's pace. Because when they talk about war, agwala go shisha, or like it will be disappointed when you look at someone else's situation, someone else's thing. Because that's a lot of things that we do that make us to fail. Because you see, look at situation with a different eye. Look at it. Okay, step back. Okay, this is what's happened. Why did this happen? This supposed to be the result, but I'm not getting this result. So now you step back, okay, and you look at it from a different perspective, from a different eye. They construct the timeline to see where expectation and reality split. Because imagination is different from reality. When we expect something that, okay, I'm going to start this business of catering, and I know in 2 years from now, I'm going to build 2 houses out of it. You see, that's imagination. But now, you have been at this catering for 5 years, and you haven't even built a house. You haven't even buy your own house. Then you need to step back. Okay, what are you doing? What is wrong? Then now live in the reality. Rebudget yourself. Okay, maybe I'm not getting enough business. Maybe I need to do flyer. Maybe I need to do posts. Maybe I need to do advertisement. What are you not doing? Because you're too busy living in the imagination instead of reality of the situation. So look beside. Okay, this is how I can work it. Sometimes a lot of us we go from level 1, we want to go to level 10. We forgot that between level 1 and level 10 there's a couple of levels that we need to go little by little. That's why I say this is your own race. You go at your own pace, not someone else. And some people, it take them 4 years to come out of college, to finish college, and they're like doing well and they're fine. But if that's not your own, your own pace, then pace yourself. Take your time, so that way you're not taking the same subject over and over again, because you're not meeting up, because you're not getting it, because you're trying to be like your mates. No one person is alike. I'm being honest. Even twins, they're not alike. They might even identical twins, they can look alike, but they have their own personality, their individual. So don't run based on someone else, imagination, based on someone else's reality. Work on your own reality. Some people, it's fast for them they can walk fast, they can run fast. But if yours is to take it in slow like a tortoise, then take it slow. Don't rush. So don't separate your reality from your expectation. What you expect, that's okay, you were thinking, okay, this will happen, and if someone is telling you, oh, you could do this, you should have been here, there. They are not you. This is your race, this is your life. If someone tell you, oh, if your father, you could not do it, your mother tell you, oh, look at where your mate are, that's your mate. That's not you. You are your own person. You will do it at your own. So don't allow anybody to put you in, to push you because of expectation. But live in your own reality. Live in the present. Take a step at a time, and then fix broken habits. Let me tell you something. Fix broken habit, routine, or stagnancy with quiet daily effort. It's not easy, I know. Sometimes we have, okay, you have a business. Everybody business is open around you in the area that you're in. All their business open at 9 o'clock. And you are just strolling in there. You're coming in at 12 because it's your business. What do you think is going to happen? Are you going to make the same sale as people that are open at 9 or people that are open at 7? So those are broken habits that we can fix. Little things. Okay, you are going to college, but every week you're missing 3 days of the classes. How do you think you're not going to fail? Those are broken, those are examples of broken habits. In your marriage, okay, you don't talk to your partner. Both of you don't communicate. How do you think the marriage is going? Those are broken habits that need to be fixed. Look back. What are the broken habits that still, when you fix those broken habits, then you turn your failure into growth. Because it's not easy. I'm being honest with you, it's not easy. But it's with determination that we can move forward. It's with determination that we can go, turn our failure into growth. when you determine to do in your mind. So you fix the broken habit that you have been dealing, that you think is okay, it's not a big deal. But you see, those broken habits that you haven't fixed, that is the one that's allowing failure to continually to happen. It's allowing your plan to continually be destroyed. So fix the broken habits, and it's like it with daily effort. Okay, are you used to open at 12? Okay, now work on getting there at 11. Now work on getting there at 10. You see, little by little. It's not something, I'm not asking you to make a dramatic change, because sometimes it's hard for us to change who we are, or things that we're doing. So fix it with daily, work on it daily. Be determined in your mind that this thing, I want to change it. Some people say, okay, I don't want to. Imagine now, some people that smoke, they say they don't want to smoke anymore. Do you think they can just say, okay, from now on I'm leaving cigarette? They used to smoke 2 pack, maybe 1 pack or 2 pack a day. Now they slow it down to 1. Now they slow it down to fuse, maybe 5. And then until they are able to leave that habit, until that habit is able to leave their system. So, fix the broken habits, and then, change the tactics instead of giving up entirely when obstacle appear. I know when something happen, we're so quick to say, okay, one thing, we surrender. What we surrender to? One thing, change, look for something to change. Change it, change your taxes. Okay, I went right when I was going towards this business. Maybe that's why it didn't work. So go left. So do you understand what I'm saying? Like, change your taxes, change the way you look at, change the way you approach that thing that you fail at. Change it, because if you can't do the same thing the same way and accept different results, I'm telling you, you cannot do the same thing the same way and expect different. You will always get the same result. So in order for you to get different result, you have to change the way you are doing things, so that way you get different result. So change the tactics instead of giving up entirely with when obstacle happen, because there's nothing we do go through in life. There's nothing we do in life, either school, either marriage, either relationship, either business, that there will not be obstacle. It might be your neighbor that will be the obstacle. It might be your spouse. It might be you yourself that will be the obstacle. Then you need to change the way you're thinking, change the tactics that you approach the situation. So that way, whatever you are laying your hand on, whatever you are working at, so you don't end up failing over and over again. True failures only happen when you stop trying. Let me see. They say a failure is someone that failed and never try again. So you are not a failure. I'm being honest with you. But when you give up, when you say, oh, okay, that's it, I'm not even going to try. You see, that's what makes you a failure. A failure is someone that failed and never try again. But once you continue to try, even when you listen to all what I have said today, and you put it into practice, trust me, you will learn, you will grow from whatever, every failure that you have failed, everything that you have failed at in the past. If you look back at it and you work on this, statement that we talk about today, I'm telling you, you will grow even to be better than the people that are in that business, more than you, better than the people that are that have been married for years, better than you, because you will learn from your mistake. A failure is someone that try and that fail and never try again. True failures only happen when you stop trying, when you give up completely. So learn to recover. That's how you grow. That's how that's why you turn your failure into growth. That's how you turn your failure into success. That's how you turn your failure into prosperity. Learn from your mistake and develop from it. Grow from it. And and if you need help, ask the right people for help. No man is an island. This is your journey, but no man is an island. And I believe, because I trust in you, that you can do it. So turn your failure into growth, and the success that you're expecting will come even more than your expectation. Thank you so much for everyone that joined us, for this program this afternoon. Thank you from wherever you are joining us from. We really appreciate you. Don't forget to visit our website, www.lifelinewithliz.com. We want to hear from you. I want to hear your comments. What do you think about today's topic? Turning failure into growth. How do you feel about it? What is your opinion about it? So please send me a message. I want to hear your comments, and I appreciate you all for joining. I wish you well for this coming week, and I send the word of blessing to your home. Every good thing your heart desire, you will receive it. And every area that you have failed one way or the other, we will start to succeed. It is so. Bye.